Welcome to SMBU's trading tip of the day. Here's a tip to help you with your trading emotions during the day. And I want to talk about a specific example and a specific technique you can use while you're trading, which I used in this BLDP, which helped me control my emotions a little bit better and perhaps see this trade a little bit more healthily. So look, we all get upset from time to time as traders, but there are little things you can do to perhaps keep the temperature down a little bit and perhaps not get as upset as often. And so we're trading this BLDP. They had an announcement before the open that they and Volkswagen had entered into an $80 million contract. So they've got a new contract. The stock gaps up. The question is it up too much? Lots of people who like to fade it think so. They're looking for good entry points to do so and put on some size since it's a $2.80 stock, $2.50 stock. So you can see from the 1 minute chart, I was actually waiting for that to roll over. So I'm not the type of trader who's going to fade that into that first up move. I want to see the momentum starting to turn to the downside. And you can see that it starts to do that on the 1 minute chart at around 257-ish. It's unable to hold that 260-ish area. The momentum's to the downside. And I start to get short and accumulate a position from 259-ish to 257-ish. And I'm going to swing that. I want that to make a decent move to the downside and then cover it. In the middle of the trade, I noticed that it was very crowded. It seemed like everybody had the same idea that I had to fade that stock, to short that stock and see if it'll pull in towards maybe 225-ish, maybe 2-ish, depending on what your time frame was. And I just got the feeling I was going to be wrong in the trade. And we actually had a meeting in here at around 11 o'clock. And I said to myself, I said to the guys in the room, I said, it was hovering about 252. I said, I'm going to get stopped out on this. And everybody laughed. And I'm like, no, seriously, like I'm going to get stopped out on this. I am mentally prepared to get stopped out on this. I'm going to get stopped out at 256 and 261. And I'm mentally prepared to do it. And, you know, the stock wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and I wasn't ready to actually cut it, but a tip that you can take away from this video is to start to prepare to be wrong in a particular position. Start to see yourself actually getting stopped out, and even perhaps say to yourself, this is just not going to work. You set your stops in, and what happens after you do that is you take away the real moment anxiety that certain people feel of, oh, insert expletive deletive, you know, oh, I just got stopped out, and deal with those emotions. You can just say to yourself, you get into position, I'm stopped out here, it's not going to work out, and if it does work out for you, that's only gravy. But if it doesn't work out, you've already prepared for that. You've already seen yourself getting stopped out. It's not as traumatic, it's not that big of a deal because you had seen yourself being stopped out. So anyway, that's something I do from time to time. I particularly do it in these cheap stocks that are voluminous, that touch a lot of prices, because you can be in the money and then out of the money and have lots of open profit and then on the wrong side of the trade. So that's just a little bit of a trick that I use and we use on our desk. I hope that helps.